Hey all, Tony Bing here. Hello and welcome back to another news update video for Ultimate Alliance 3. Now, today we actually got a release date for the game, and that's the main reason I'm doing this video. However, what I figured I would do as well is actually have a look at trailers 1 and 2 once more, just to double check all the characters that were in them, the characters that were confirmed playable, ones that were in cutscenes, and see if I missed anything. So I've got a roundup of all the characters from both those trailers. I've actually had a look on Wikipedia and IMDb as well to try and get a list of any actors or voice actors that may actually be working on the game. So we've got more info in that regards, which hopefully spoils some future characters. And then we've also got the box art which was released, and it looks absolutely awesome. So let's jump in and check the box art out first. So here it is here, and you can see that it looks absolutely awesome. Now I'll quickly run over the characters we can see on the front cover. Because we don't have any huge villains that have actually been announced on this front cover, I would imagine all these characters would be playable, which would really be pretty amazing. Once I've run over them, I'll do the overview of trailers 1 and 2, but let's check out who we're seeing on the front cover and who, as mentioned, I'm pretty certain will be playable. So we'll start up top left. We've got Falcon, then we've got Hulk, you've got Doctor Strange, it's a new character we didn't know about. You've got Captain America, we knew about him already. Daredevil, we did see a tease on Iron Fist previously, but it's great to see Daredevil actually on the cover. You then got Nightcrawler, which is amazing. That's a bit of a surprise to see him there. We've got Star-Lord up next, Black Widow, and then there's Deadpool, which is awesome because up to now he hadn't even been confirmed to be in the game at all. Central characters we've got are ones we all knew about. You've got Wolverine, he was first shown, I imagine, to let us know that X-Men were on the cards. You've got Iron Man, you've got Spidey, Captain Marvel, she was confirmed in the last trailer, that was trailer 2 for the game. On the right hand side we've got quite a few different characters here. So you've got Rocket and Groot. Now it looks like Rocket and Groot come as a combo, which I know they are a team, but I do find that a little bit disappointing. I prefer to potentially play them separately, but I'll need to get hands on before I make my mind up for sure. Next to him we have Thor, we already knew about that. You've then got Spider-Gwen, so that's really interesting there. We've got Venom, so awesome stuff. Storm's up next. We've got Wanda, Scarlet Witch, Miles Morales, so they're going quite hard in the Spider-Verse with Spider-Gwen and Miles, and then finally you've got Black Panther as well. So that's all the characters that were actually confirmed via the box art. So let's go in and check out the breakdown in the first 2 trailers so we can see the playable characters, the ones that were in cutscenes, and then also potential future characters. We start off here then with a list of what I would say is as close to possible characters that have been confirmed. They're either shown on the box art, we've actually seen them in action in game, and it's 24 in total, which is really pretty great, and it's quite wide as well, the variety of the characters available here. Now we'll run through them. So we've got Black Panther, he came via the recent box art. We've seen Black Widow, Captain America for quite some time. Captain Marvel featured in trailer 2, she featured very heavily in that. We then have Daredevil, so it looks like we have 2 out of the 4 Defenders characters with him shown on the box art. Deadpool's up next, which is awesome again, he's came via the box art. Same with Doctor Strange. Drax and the rest of the Guardians all featured quite heavily in both of the trailers, so you get Drax there. We've then got Falcon, he shows at the end of trailer 1 and 2, and he's also shown on the box art. Gamora's up next for our second Guardians of the Galaxy character, and we have seen direct gameplay of her. We've seen some team-ups of other characters as well, I believe. We've then got Hulk, we've seen a fair bit of him, he's been smashing Ultron bots in the first video. Iron Fist is next up, he debuted in the second video where we've seen some new characters and some really pretty exciting ones, but that's your second Defenders character. Hopefully we'll still get Luke Cage and Jessica Jones in time, so if people want to actually play the game in the 4-player mode, because it is confirmed as 4-player couch co-op and 4-player online, you could go a full Defenders team, that would be awesome. But next character anyway, one we all knew about and we've seen him a lot, it's Iron Man. You've then got Miles Morales, so they're going quite heavy on the Spider-Verse as mentioned already, so that's great. Nightcrawler's up next, so it's really nice to see an X-Men character, and he came via the box art. You then get the Rocket and Groot combo, we've seen them in trailers 1 and 2. Scarlet Witch is up next. Spider-Gwen came via the box art. Spidey's featured heavily in both of the trailers. And then we've got Star-Lord, so we've got our final Guardians of the Galaxy character. Storm was featured in the second trailer, so it was awesome to see her. We then have 4. Venom again was featured in the second trailer directly after Storm, so 2 great characters to see one after the other. And then finally we have Wolverine. He was featured in the first trailer and he was very likely shown to let us know that X-Men were actually on the table. So that's all the characters that are confirmed playable, or again as mentioned, as close to confirmed playable as we can actually get at this point. So next up we'll have a look at the characters that are featured in cutscenes, and this mainly focuses on villains. It's not clear if we'll actually be fighting these characters or they'll just be part of the story, but let's check them out. Once again we have a quite wide variety of characters here, so it's great to see that. It's good to see we're not just sticking with the MCU, but it's going wider than that. So firstly we have the Black Order, no big surprise there given the title and the name of the game. We then have Crystal. She's one of the Inhuman characters and she actually shows up at the end. The way she shows up with the other heroes would suggest to me that she's probably going to be playable, but I put her in this section just to be safe for now. We then have Green Goblin and Kingpin. They show up in actual cutscenes for the game. Lockjaw shows up next to Crystal, so I would say there's a chance that Lockjaw, he's an Inhuman as well, or I say he, it's actually a dog, there's a chance that they could be playable as well. Nebula's up next. She was in a cutscene in the first trailer. We then have Nick Fury, shows up in the same capacity as Crystal and Lockjaw. Good chance he could be playable and it would be great to see him playable if that's the case. In regards to villains we see in the cutscenes, we have the Outriders, and this is the beast-like creatures you have at the end of the first Infinity War movie at the Battle of Wakanda. That's them. We then have Ronan. We actually see him in action, or we see the Guardians going up against him as a villain that you'll play against in-game for certain. Same with Sandman. We see actual gameplay of a group of characters going up against Sandman. That's from the first trailer. Same applies to Sentinels as well actually. We see Wolverine going up against them and even chopping the head off one of them in one of the cutscenes. Thanos is up next. He's going to be a villain for sure, but hopefully there'll be a way to potentially unlock him. That would be awesome. Next set of characters we have here is the Hand. They featured in both trailers and we've seen the likes of Iron Fist using his awesome looking ultimate against them, or Spidey going up against them. We then have the Kree. They featured quite heavily with Captain Marvel absolutely smashing them in the second trailer. We've got some Raft inmates. They were actually shown in gameplay and also a cutscene with Spidey. Next up we have a little known villain from one of the cutscenes. He's known as Ultimo. He looks a lot like Ultron and I think a lot of people confused him with Ultron. They thought it was maybe a new design for him, but we also have Ultron featuring within one of the trailers. I think it was actually the first trailer he showed in. We see some Ultron bots and we see Hulk smashing heck out of them, and then finally this one was easy to miss, but in the first trailer when the camera's spinning round on Wolverine, it's exceptionally quick, but you can actually see Vision in the background there. So will he be playable or not, I'm not quite sure, but he's definitely in the game. So that's characters in the cutscenes and characters that we'll either be going up against. And to finish up here, we'll have a look at characters where we've actually found out some details about voice actors that are potentially doing work in the game. This came via IMDb, so take this particular section with a pinch of salt. We've got a total of 12 different potential characters here. They could be playable characters, they could just be ones in cutscenes, or they could even be ones you go up against. So firstly we have Arcade. I believe he featured in one of the other Ultimate Alliance games, so it would be great if we could see another level like the one he was in previously, because that was a whole lot of fun in the older games. We then have Blackheart. Again, I'm pretty certain he featured in older games. We've got Dr. Octopus, we've got Doctor Doom, which is awesome, and it's very likely this one could be true because it looks like Marvel Games are trying to put the Fantastic Four characters back into their games now. We've got Galactus, we'll probably be fighting his boot by the sounds of it. You've got Grim Reaper, a character probably a lot of people wouldn't have heard of, but he was a villain in Marvel Heroes Omega, and that's the reason I know him. Iceman's up next. Fingers crossed he's playable because that would be awesome. We've got Curse, who is a villain for Thor. I would say it's very likely he could be in the game because in one of the cut scenes when you actually see Thor, he appears to be fighting on some kind of planet that looks very similar to the one from Thor 2, the Dark World. So that's why I think this does sound legit. We've got Luke Cage, which would make sense given we've got the other Defenders characters. It would be a shame to miss out on Cage and Jessica Jones, so I'm sure we'll get them in time. Magneto's up next, which is awesome. You can't have X-Men without Magneto. You've got Uata, if that's how you say it, the Watcher, who's a big character. And then finally you've got Professor Xavier in there as well. So that's the characters that we've found some information via Wiki and IMDb. They're not confirmed, but they do look like they could be definite potentials for being in the game when you look at some of the other trailers and you think of the characters in some of the older games. So that's a roundup of all that. So let's just do a final roundup, and I'll mention this release date that I didn't mean to leave this late in the video. So the release date we have for the game to confirm to be coming out, and this at the moment is on Switch only, so I need to buy one myself. It is on the 19th of July. Now, some other information we've managed to find out as well. So you've got potentially those 24 confirmed playable characters there. We've also got the fact that it'll be 4-player couch co-op and online. The trailer 2 specifically talked about how when you level up your characters you'll get new skills, how characters can do combo attacks, and how characters will have like the equivalent of an ultimate attack if you think back to Marvel Heroes Omega. So I'm exceptionally hyped, really like what I've seen so far. It looks like it's got a quite wide roster of characters, and I've been really trying to find something to fill that Marvel Heroes Omega shaped void in my heart for the last year or so. So fingers crossed this will actually fill it. Now let me know in the comments below if you are excited, if you're looking to get a Switch for this, and thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you all again soon.